Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Stacked Deck. My name is Rylanor. I want to very quickly apologize for some of the audio mixing on last episode. As you can tell, I've moved my microphone a lot closer to my face, so that should be much better now. But we are going to hop right into it a little bit to discuss on this episode. But before we get into that, want to introduce all the co-hosts.
Yeah, of course. HYDRA 312. I'm back on camera, so you can see my pretty face.
Thank God.
some
That was a
say.
great photo, though. That was an excellent photo, I will say. Very handsome.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it. But yeah, that's it. If you want to find me a job on LinkedIn, by all means, I'll pass it on.
What's up, guys? It's Stardust. We are back with our camera as well. So, yeah, here we are.
Oh, I'm Zdral, and I don't know. That's pretty much it. I'm Zdral.
So
There you go.
close.
we were doing so well. We were doing so well. All right. So we're still obviously in the very early stages of Unleashed, with it being unleashed about 2 days ago. There are quite a few, thanks to the Sims and obviously China, results that have been posted in both the East and the West. And we're going to talk about that. But before we get too deep into our Unleashed kind of meta predictions, especially with RQ Sydney popping up, there is one topic that I wanted to discuss that it seems like everybody's talking about right now with some of the new cards that have come out. And as you know, we have a couple people who feel very strongly about it on the podcast, but I wanted to talk about Aurora. It seems like the number one discussion that's happening right now is, should Aurora be banned? Is Aurora bad for the metagame? Or is Aurora low skill? If you play Aurora, do you have a room temperature IQ? A lot of these things straight from Zedral's mouth, right? But I wanted to have somewhat of a discussion about it because I feel like it is actually a relatively nuanced topic, right? And I think that the topic of bans and should something be banned, and also what is something that's healthy for the game is, like I said, relatively nuanced. So before we hop into the conversation, I just want to do like a quick round around the circle and just yes or no question. Do you think Aurora should be banned? Starting with you, HYDRA.
Yes.
Okay.
Dang.
You say yes as well?
Me, I don't think it's a problem yet. I think that there's a very straightforward win condition, and I feel like that win condition can be blocked really easily. So I personally don't see a problem with it. So I would have to say no.
And Zdral.
I think the answer is obviously yes. Kevin's or Stardust is actually coping out of his mind. Because at the end of the day, it's not even about the power level of the deck, which I will agree there are playstyles that like Purple, Ezreal, Diana, with a lot of the cross, what is it called, Star-crossed.
Star-crossed.
Do allow you to have obviously viable game plans. But the main issue is fundamentally it is distorting the orange domain, okay, the body domain. Okay, it is, if you are not playing Aurora and if you're in that domain, then what are you doing? The same way that Miracle was problematic for the Chaos domain because it was distorting all the Chaos domain about how every other deck would play it if you could play it. That is what Aurora is doing to the meta. And ultimately, if you can't play it, here's the issue I have with Aurora. Like in the last sets, it was fine, right? Okay, cool. They get their big unit. We don't cry about it, but fine. But now it's a unit that destroys multiple units in a battlefield. So now you have to kill the unit instantly and then deal with the gear. So I don't know. It just distorts the game. Yeah, and also it's boring gameplay. It's boring gameplay style. All you do the whole game is you go from I draw and I ramp, draw, ramp, draw, ramp. I 4. If I don't get it, well, then then we have an even game. I've got at turn 4, I win the game. I don't know. It's the play patterns, everything around it that makes Aurora bad. And I bought Aurora at $30. So if they bought it at 90, they can burn too. Okay, so they can lose a little bit of paper. So, anyways, I think it's best.
Kevin, No, thank you, Zdral, for that very impassioned outburst. Stardust, so for me, I do think that the card should be banned. I do not think that it should be banned because of power level. I think it should be banned for other reasons that I'm pretty happy to get into. But Stardust, as the one person who seems to think that it's fine, and also as the person who has had the most competitive success, are we just bad? What's going on here? Like, genuinely.
I mean, so
No, that's
here's the
valid.
thing.
Anytime I have an opinion on this game and Kevin's like, no,
Yeah.
you're wrong, I'm like, fuck, he might be right. I haven't top aided. It's terrible.
No, listen. I think to do well, I think we all have the skill to do well. I think we're all very good players here. I'm just skeptical because like I know you don't like looking at like other formats, other like regions, but especially in China, like yeah, it's topped a couple, right? And Aurora will always top a couple because it's just kind of like the high roll deck. But like there is 100%. There's every color has something to deal with Aurora. Like I just think that you play around your outs and it's like every other deck. It's just a lot more one track, very simple. You either snipe it or they get it, or maybe they don't get it at all. I don't think that it's like, yeah, I think that there's very clear like outs to Aurora. I don't think.
But do you think it's healthy for the game to have this one card combo? Because
So like it's such a fun like I think Riot wants like one of these like just super fun like you're just when you're playing the deck you're just super carefree. You just throw a couple
Brainless.
stack decks. Yeah. I don't want to. Essentially, yes. It's like like the skill stealing
Autopilot.
It's a little bit, yeah, exactly. You see Aurora, you slam it down, like that's it. If they sabotage it or something, like you're kind of sad. But at the end of the day, it's like you like. There's always like kind of like League. There's always those couple of champions where it's like, oh, he's so brainless. Like some people don't want to play these high skill. Oh, I don't want to play Zed. I don't want to play. Some people want to play like Teemo or E. You know what I mean? Like,
if they wanted to do that, they should have made Ivern viable and then made a Timmy deck where you can just play. Oh, I play Fluffy Poros.
But that's a fallacy. That's a fallacy.
No,
you know
but
what I
mean?
The fallacy is here's what I think. I think that if Ivern is the super brainless deck where you throw it down, and all these birds are super strong, and you're conquering and you're gaining like 3 points, then you're gonna have something to say about that. There's always something to say about these.
No.
But it has to be. But it can't be consistent. Like if Ivern is like a 10 might where you can only play it with this, but it's super busted, then yeah, it would make sense. Like Aurora's that. It's like super dice roll. You have
no. Okay, question. Okay, if I told you you have a 90% chance to see Aurora by turn 5, do you think that is problematic?
Well, is it 90?
It's yes at 90, literally 90% at turn 5. Turn 4.
Who's doing the math here?
No, well, just with all the cards, dude, it's been going on forever, bro.
So right now, Misfortune and Sivir are Giga Ultra S tier because with Unleashed, you now have Stack Deck, which lets you obviously see 3 cards. You can dig, you can find something. You have Scryer's Bloom, which lets you scry and then draw. And then you have Lunar Blessing, which lets you discard 1 and draw 2. So 2 of those have come from Unleashed. And I don't have the hypergeometric calculator out. I don't know what the math is. But the point is, if you draw 4, you bottom 2. So now you've seen 6 cards. Yeah. You draw a 7th. You have a stack deck. Now you're at 10. Scryer's Bloom the next turn. You're up to like 13. You've seen more than a quarter of your deck. I don't know what the math is, but there's a reason that Misfortune and Sivir are so highly regarded right now in terms of Aurora, and it specifically has to do with the new hyper consistency in finding the card.
So my question is: turn 4, turn 5 of your turn 4 or their turn 4? Like in general, turn 4, or are we talking about your turn 4?
1, 2,
their turn 4.
Yeah, their turn 4. Turn 4. Honestly, hitting turn 3, it's over.
No.
I see what you mean. I see what you mean in regards to
turn?
No,
Or
well,
is it
it
four
couldn't.
turns
It couldn't
in
be the.
general?
It couldn't be the. It couldn't
No.
be the fourth turn of the game because then you would only have 4 or 5 runes. So like that doesn't
No,
exactly
but they ramp.
matter.
They ramp. It would go ramp, sack deck, or ramp immediately next turn. You have 5 first catalyst, 3
Right.
4, and then draw.
So
and then
if
sweep.
it's if it's in general 4 turns, right? Like so 1, 2, 3,
On
4.
if they do a
that
catalyst on
seems
their
pretty
third
hard.
turn, they can cast Aurora.
Right.
Yeah, right. But
Yes.
like, you don't have enough mana to do all like the stack decks and all that. If you're catalysting
Well,
right off the
so-
Oh,
bat,
no,
so-
no, 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 no. Because
so,
the ramping,
yeah,
because the
stop,
ramping
yeah,
gives you
stop.
off turn.
right? No,
So,
but turn
yeah.
1,
But
you're
turn
you're
1, if you
mobilizing
have-
turn.
Turn 1, if you have stack deck or Scryer's Bloom, you're gonna see 2 or 3 cards. Turn 2, you can play a catalyst. You go up to 6. So if
6.
you're on the draw, which means you go second, you can play Aurora by turn 3 because you will have enough. You'll go.
Yeah,
You'll go 3,
I-
5, 7 with catalyst into 9.
90% seems kind of high. I don't know about 90. I
We
mean,
can
I can do the
objectively do the math. Like that is one thing I will say. It is possible to do the math.
yeah, and I don't think
What
it's
percentage? What percentage would you be comfortable? Before this meta, Unleashed meta, the consistency to do it at turn 4 was over 50%. If I remember correctly, by turn 4. Or decks already do
Oh. It's listen. If it's 50%, that's pretty fair. If it's
No, it's
If it's
not
a- any-
50% anymore.
it. Now
If it-
anymore.
I
Is
mean,
the
if
point?
it's a-
Yeah.
see, but the rate in which you're getting it is not like linear. It starts plateauing. Like it'll start like what is it? Converging to 100%. It won't go to 100%.
Sure,
and
yeah, the
I-
chance you don't hit it, obviously.
The limit.
100%.
Yeah, the limit
totes
would
and
approach.
stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the limit would approach 100%, and
So
it'll get like
Hold on.
less and less probable.
let's take a step back here. Let's take a step back here because there's a couple different ways that we can look at it. I have it pulled up on the side. The 3 things that they look at from a banning philosophy. Number 1, is the card overrepresented in an unhealthy way? Objectively, in my opinion, the answer is yes. And the reason that I say that is the point that Zdral said about if you are in orange, there's a chance that you're playing Aurora. I don't know if anybody here watches Challenger TCG, but when they were doing the Unleashed ranking videos, when they got to Kha'Zix, they were like, if you want the Kha'Zix best of card, you can just run the list that MF and Sivir are running. And both of those are running Aurora. And then you just have a vanilla legend, right? Like,
Yep.
I think objectively, the card is overrepresented from an orange standpoint, right?
Okay.
I say objectively, but I also say I think, so I understand that that's subjective. How do we feel about it? Do we think that do we think it's overrepresented? I think it's overrepresented in orange.
Well, but I mean, maybe an orange, maybe.
Well, I mean,
But
it's
like, if
the
you
only
look at
color
all
that
the
can play it.
tournaments, if you look at all the tournaments, like it's made second in one, and that's like pretty much it. Like,
And that's an interesting point, right? And like, this is not like a bandwagon everybody kill Aurora. I will say, we saw it get second in Bologna, but looking at the city challenges, Aurora's not winning these, right? For how strong we're talking about, Sivir being, for how strong we're talking about MF being. Aurora's not winning games. However, that doesn't mean it's not, going into some of the other points that they have. So point number 2 go ahead.
I'm just gonna say, I think Miracle and Detonate was not good in China. People didn't play it, even though it was the most disgusting possible deck you could play, and you obviously needed a lot of time. And the power level, we could argue most people it didn't win a lot of tournaments in China. They didn't win a lot of tournaments in the West. Standard, but the deck was still disgusting. Just because people don't know how to pilot a deck or don't play a deck or it doesn't put the numbers, it doesn't mean it's not healthy for the game. That's what continues.
Wasn't the Miracle Sivir? I'm like 90% sure that the Miracle Sivir that got extremely high in one of the regionals was piloted by a Western pilot too. So like, I don't think that.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure it was a guy who traveled to
it
China
was
to play.
Randy's.
Yeah, exactly. So like the that's also like a point that I think we've talked about before. The Chinese meta is different from the Western meta to a pretty high degree, I would say, right? Like originally they didn't really do Annie. You know, Annie wins the first North American regional here, right? Like
Right.
Miracle was not a big thing. Miracle Draven was not a huge thing. You know, there was the Sivir deck, but that was like really proto Miracle. You know, Miracle Draven goes crazy in the U.S. I don't know what's going to happen with Unleashed, right? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But
So-
it's not winning much in China. I will admit.
So going to the point that Zdral made, yeah, Miracle was a busted deck, and I don't think it was for the lack of like the fact that they didn't play it or they didn't want to play it. It was more of the fact that I think it was built in America,
Yes.
and they didn't have that insight to build it there. And when it finally hit the scene, it was already really late into the set, and like they didn't really have tournaments that were like doing it. And then what, like a couple weeks later, it got banned. So there wasn't a window for that pilot to kind of like take off, as opposed to Aurora that's been played since set one. Like it's kind of like the deck idea is kind of figured out. You look at a bunch of cards and then you pick Aurora out of the cards. And I don't think it requires like a genius to figure that out. Like if we look at the stats, there has been some success, 2 top ones, and then the one in Bologna. So I mean, again, I think that we're gonna have to see, right? But my bet is on like it being just like, I don't think it's. I think people can play it around it too easily. I don't know, but hey, who knows?
So the final thing on point 1 is the card overrepresented in an unhealthy way, right? Like I think that doesn't necessarily have to do with dominance of the card, right, and how much it wins. A really good example is if anybody played Hearthstone, the Crystal Caverns, the Rogue quest. Honestly, it had like a 50% win rate, but it ended up getting banned because they thought it was an unhealthy play pattern, right? So just because something doesn't win every tournament doesn't mean, it's not unhealthy or overrepresented. The second point, are the problems with the card likely to get worse over time? In my opinion, this is objectively a yes, right? If you print a big unit, it's going in Aurora, right? And that goes for every color, because if we go into the future, you're going to have color combinations, when we get enemy pairing combinations, you're going to have, orange in everything, right? And then every color is going to be subject to being touched by Aurora. I have problems with kind of unit design in this game to begin with, because I feel like if Aurora didn't exist, the Elder Dragon would be stone cold unplayable, because I feel like big units in this game are honestly just stone cold unplayable outside of Aurora. I mean, I know Dead Bloom was like a big thing, but like any unit that's expensive and it has a power, I don't know. Just like I feel like tempo is so important in this game that if you're tapping out to play a unit, you're kind of screwing yourself in general. I digress, but like from a standpoint to where maybe they print larger units in the future that have less power cost, well, that just means Aurora is going to be able to play them easier, because then they're not deramping themselves. And if you haven't drawn your Aurora, but you draw a unit that's, big but with a lower power cost, you can play it, and then you actually salvage your tempo. So I do think that Aurora has somewhat painted them into a corner in terms of large unit design, personally. What do you think, HyDra?
Go ahead. A little bit going back on China, because I guess if we want to pull stats and whatnot to address all of the points that have been brought up. Fair to say they're probably not as good as Western players. I think that's pretty well known.
It's true.
It's true. It's just how it is. We've been playing, I don't know, for so long. It's whatever. Most of the tournaments that they do, so when it comes to city challenges, they're best of ones.
Best of ones.
And if you look into just like the legend breakdowns, there's not a lot of Aurora players. So there's like maybe 1 or 2 MFs, but they're all making like, top 10 or top 8, top 16. So it's not like it's so inconsistent that they're not actually hitting Aurora and climbing to the top spots. So that's part of it. Is it over-represented? Yes, of course, we went over that. I'm not going to disagree with anything like that. Every orange deck should probably play it. Even probably the best version of Yi plays it at this point, in my opinion. And then when it comes to
we'll find out.
Yeah, I don't think we'll find out. I think that's a truth.
Okay.
What
Because
the hell?
Kevin's not
talking
or
about?
Stardust ain't playing Aurora. And I think the best version of Yi is whatever Stardust cooks up. But we'll see. We'll see.
Oh, okay.
Moving on.
Whoa.
Moving on.
Okay.
Wait, where are you getting these stats from? I'm not seeing any of those. There's not a single city challenge that he's playing. Yeah, none of them are playing Aurora.
Yeah,
Well,
Alright.
he just said that he doesn't think that the Chinese meta is as advanced as the North American
Oh,
meta.
okay.
So I think,
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry.
That's
Finish up, HyDra. Finish up.
Yeah. And then in terms, I don't even remember what you asked me, to be honest, but in terms of design,
Are the problems with the card likely to get worse over
Oh,
time?
okay, there we
Have
go,
they
yeah,
painted
the
themselves into a corner?
design, so design of the game, 100%. Again, like you said, every big unit is probably gonna go in Aurora. At the moment, it wasn't as bad because it wasn't as easy to hit as it is now, and specifically with those with orange purple, which is again why they're at the top. It's almost like if you've been playing the game or if you've been playing a sim, whatever the case it is, a lot of the games where it's best of threes that you line up, they get Aurora consistently, whether it's turn 3, turn 4, maybe turn 5 the latest. You say, okay, we have answers, sure, but we're forcing our decks to have them in there. So like, okay, a yellow deck probably has 3 salvages, and then let's say you salvage the Aurora, but they already got Elder. Okay, so now you gotta have a Cold of Week or something that kills it. And then if you hit and blade the card, when it moves in, they get 2 more cards. So what's the chances that they pull Aurora again? It's a whole system where it's just problematic in itself because it forces every other deck to play around it, and I think that's not good for the game to begin with. For all the later sets, it's gonna be an issue if they keep printing big cards that you can't do anything about. I guess they could have some sort of combo where, like, if you get these 3 cards on the field, you get a type of Exodia. You summon your Elder Drake that way instead of Aurora version. Who knows? But as of right now, it's gonna be a problem. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
Or sorry, Stardust.
Oh, you're good. So going back to the play pattern thing, I personally don't think that there's a play pattern that's like you were saying stuff about Hearthstone, but like right now, like not many decks are using it. Like the win rate's not like astronomical. I personally don't think there's any issue with keeping it around, and there are going to be people who play it. It's not going to be. I don't think it's going to be game breaking, but there's so many.
The second point was, are the problems with the card likely to get worse over time?
Well, yeah. I will talk about that. So
okay.
Yeah, like right now, all the Aurora lists are just playing basically like Mind Splitter plus
Elder Dragon.
Elder, yeah, plus Elder. So then when you play Elder, it's like, yeah, you have, not so fast as you have stuff that will stop damage being dealt. And then if it gets bounced, then you got to hard play it. And going to the second point, will the problems keep getting worse? I like what you said about whether like how they would design the cards in the future. I think that some cards can only be played in Aurora, right? Like, for example, like you said, Elder is a Aurora pretty much only card.
4 energy is insane.
Yeah, 4 energy, 12, and if you leave nothing up to do anything, right? Yeah, you might clear 3 units, but you leave you leave nothing up to protect it, and if it dies, you literally cannot play. If it gets bounced, if it dies, if anything happens to it, you have to wait another 2 turns to play anything else.
And if you're not playing Aurora, now you have less runes the next turn to play something else.
Right. So, yeah, going back to the design, I think that it may limit some things. It may limit like the mid-range versions of cards, like anything that's not 12 runes. Because look at Baron, right? Baron right now is being played in decks that aren't Aurora, and so
There's a
I
very
think-
specific reason for that, though. Baron gives you a free point when you play it.
Okay.
That's very useful, right? Like that's very useful. And I think a lot of I don't know. I think there's also like a point about whether or not Baron's even like a good card in Aurora, but that's a different discussion.
Either way,
you have three
so
battlefields.
that's irrelevant to what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say that it may limit card design, but things like Baron, where you can still design it around where, you know, very good card that is used a lot, and then there are cards that like Elder, which have to be in Aurora, right? So I don't think it's game limiting. I think that, and again, there are so many outs, right? If we are not playing our cards, like they printed so much gear hate, they have auction, they have infinite amount of things that you can do to play around Aurora. And then Aurora has things to play around you. So on its own, I don't think it's a problem. I think that we need to be playing around it, right? And it's unlike Miracle where there was no playing around, there wasn't an answer to anything. It was pretty much a solitaire deck. This has a lot of interaction that you can do, right? It's not a Miracle. It's not something that we're like, this is problematic where we need to ban it. There's a very clear play style that can be played around, and there's one win condition that if you stop is pretty much doomed for Aurora decks.
Question.
Zdral, go for it.
What were
Zdral.
the
Just go
interaction
for it.
in the Aurora playstyle? Okay, how do I interact with him? He's either going to draw cards and ramp. That's all he's going to do for the beginning 4 to 3 turns. And
Yeah,
he
you
either
can
hits
defy
that-
it, you can
I
stop
agree.
it.
Some decks have
Abandon.
options. I agree. They have options. But what I'm saying to is like that play style is not healthy for the game. Like if I'm
Why?
playing solitary,
It's not solitaire.
well, no, the Aurora plays playing solitary from turns 4 to 1 to 4, or from 1 to Aurora.
So their game plan is very set, like every other deck. Like
I agree.
the game
I
plan,
agree.
there is a game plan that's very clear for Aurora, right? And that makes it very clear for players against Aurora. So early game,
But
you
how's
want
that
to either
healthy? But how's that healthy? That's the conversation. Look,
what?
I agree.
So
With
how's
your
it not
pattern,
healthy? What's
Because-
unhealthy about it?
I'm playing solitary. Like I get to play
It's not
one
solitaire.
game. Okay, I get to play a combo game that has one key piece, and then if I get I get the piece, the amount of work for me to get to that same point of power level that other decks have to do is not the same amount of work. That's my problem with the design. Like if I want to get a 12 byte unit that is combat, if I do any damage, everything dies. No other deck has that like that easy access to this powerful.
Yeah, but no other deck can play only large units. They have to. Hold on, let me finish. No, it's not. Here's the thing. They're sacrificing a very simple play style. They're sacrificing like the early game. They're sacrificing maybe like even if they don't draw, they're sacrificing things to play that, right? And like just because they have one easy play style, it doesn't mean anything. Like for like every deck has like one play style. Like Vex, you hold, you stun. Kaisa, you just shoot things from the back. Like there's one play style, and some play styles are harder than the others, right? And if you're choosing to play that play style, you're sacrificing some things than the other. Unlike when you're playing Detonate Draven, you don't have a play style that is like counterable. There's no like interaction from your opponent that can really stop what you're doing.
You can defy the detonate. That's with that logic. But you have defy option.
No, because again, like if you defy the detonate, there's other things. There's infinite ramp, right? You're doing
And
not
they
infinite
have
ramp. There's
infinite ramp.
infinite.
They have
No,
infinite
sorry,
card draw.
sorry, not infinite ramp. I'm saying there's a stack deck. There's called shot that are free, and then you play like Vi or you play a bunch of units,
Both
and then you
things
charge them
played
all.
in Aurora.
But
Look,
what?
man.
That's not even close. It's not even close because
No,
you
no,
don't
no,
have
no, no.
Ezreal to give you the infinite draw. You don't have Ezreal to
got
discount
Lunar.
everything. Like that's not.
Dude, how
That's
much
Lunar,
draw-
yeah, but
how-
you're going -2 to get 2, as opposed to like Ezreal, where you're
It's
just
not
getting
-2 though,
I have
because
a question.
Lunar
minus-
exists.
Lunar is
So-
1, and then you do discard 1, so that's 2
No,
for 2.
so you're
No,
even.
no, no.
You're even.
No, no.
You're
Exactly,
even.
yeah,
You're not going
-2 for
-2.
2. I'm saying
But-
-2 for plus
Okay.
2. Yes, okay.
Okay,
As opposed
okay.
to
Back to the conversation about consistency. Okay, I'm perfectly fine. This deck was not a problem. Would not be a problem if the unit design, if they allowed a tribal deck to be viable, and if this is your big payoff for putting all this works, all this dragons, and you get a cool badass dragon that is that's like a Timmy playstyle that is fun for most players. That's why they just should have made Ivern or any dragon tribal synergy. What I'm saying is like you have too much draw in this deck. You have too much consistency. If it was more 50-50 or 25 or 40, whatever play pattern, I don't like it. It wasn't a big problem in the past because it was not as consistent. And the consistency of this deck makes this. That's my issue with it. I agree. It's like a Gamba. You have some play styles, but the problem is like, okay, now you see the high rolls too often, and this is what's causing the meta issue. Is that not a problem to you? Like the amount of high rolls? If it's 50% or 40 or 70 or 80% that you see Aurora by turn 5, is that a problem?
If it's turn 5, I don't have a problem with that.
Okay,
if that's what you're saying,
let's say 60% like by turn 4, 60-70% by turn 4.
60-70%, like yeah, that's okay with me. That's not a bad trade-off. Like because the other 40% they get weeded out, right? Like if you don't have any other way but that one way to win, and it's only 60% of the time, do the math. 60 to the power of like 3, you're already out of the game.
I think,
but they can interact with Gus and whatever. Yeah, but
I think that's part of the issue though, and like something that's been really bothering me as I'm reading the online discourse is, I feel like the point of, oh, if they don't draw Aurora, they just lose. Why aren't you talking about how many free wins you get against Aurora? I feel like that's a bit of a disingenuous point because I think that we all know the experience of going and signing up for a Nexus night and then getting the first round bye and being like, oh, this fucking sucks, right? I like playing the game. I like playing Riftbound, right? I have stomped people before, but like it's still felt like a game. Every game that I've ever won against an Aurora it could have been an email. It's boring. It's stupid. It's not fun, right? No, genuinely, right? Like I play my units, I conquer turn 2, conquer turn 3, I hold, and then the whole time they're like, sad puppy dog eyes looking at their cards like, oh, I didn't draw Aurora, right? It doesn't matter to me that I win when they low roll because those games suck. It's not fun, right? So like my personal experience against it is if they don't hit Aurora, it's not fun because then it's not a game. And if they do hit Aurora, well, it very much depends on the deck that I'm playing, but sometimes that's not fun either, right? So that's kind of how I look at it personally. And then the third, go ahead.
I don't understand why it's like we're thinking of this deck as something that's like uninteractive. Like every Aurora game that I've played against, right? Even at the highest levels, it's like, it's always me like, okay, like he has this many runes. Next turn he goes up to this. I'm digging for this, and then he's digging for maybe his sabotages, or he's digging for his mind splitters or whatever, trying to snipe things. And we're kind of playing this race against time where I'm playing a completely different play style. I'm sacrificing sometimes early tempo to draw certain cards, or playing it very differently than the other deck, where it's like we're both racing, right? We're both racing to see who gets this and that. And I don't think that it's, oh, he doesn't draw it or he does draw it. It's both. Do I draw it? Does he draw it? Does none of us draw it? Like there's I think it's more than just like, oh, either he draws it or he doesn't, right? Especially now, like we have cards to make it more consistent. The game has evolved a little bit. I think there's so much interaction that there is to be done where it's like, I don't think it's a boring matchup.
The other point to that degree, something that, and I don't know from a game design philosophy perspective whether or not to qualify this as bad or not, but I am a little sick of half of my sideboard being Aurora answers, which I feel like is also a thing that you see. Like if you look at like most side decks, it's extra Aurora answers. You're playing maybe one salvage in the main if you're yellow, right? But you got 2 more salvages in the sideboard, right? Or like you got, in my Vi deck, the only answer is Ash. So I've got a bunch of Ashes in my sideboard. That's a little frustrating, but that's also what the sideboard's for. So I'm not going to belabor that point like too much. But I feel like pretty consistently, at least like a quarter, if not a third of your sideboard has to be Aurora answers. Otherwise, to your point, you have nothing to dig for if you're playing the back and forth. But the final point on philosophy is, does this card promote play patterns that negatively affect the game in other ways? I feel like that's ultimately what we've been talking about this whole time.
Yeah.
I think that if you look at it, I do think that Aurora does meet all three criteria. Again, is it overrepresented? Are the problems with the card likely to get worse over time? And does this card promote play patterns that negatively affect the game in other ways? I do think that all three of those things are true. Whether or not it deserves a ban, I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens at RQ Sydney, right? But
Actually, here's the question: does anyone think Aurora won't be banned by next 2 months?
I don't think it'll get banned.
I don't think it'll get banned. I think I would be pretty safe to put money on. Like, I'm not saying we should, but I'm saying, like, if for odds reasons, like, let's just say you are a better, like, I would advise them to bet on it not being banned. And
I don't think it's going to get banned either.
And unlike Detonate Draven, right? It is not, like, again, there is so much interaction you can do against that, and not everyone's playing it. I would understand if it made up like 50-60% of like all topping. No, it's not even close to the case. I guarantee you that it is not getting banned.
What do you think, HyDra?
Yeah, it's not gonna get banned. It's not.
Honestly, I just don't see it enough. Right?
Yeah.
Like Stardust, is there like anybody in Clarksville who plays Aurora consistently?
Not just like, Clarksville, like top, like I don't know. I'm not hearing any talks. I'm not seeing any representation in tournaments. Like, it's
there's a lot of talk. But there's not a lot of representation.
But that's the reason I think it'll be banned. Like, this is creating such a negative. Like, this is worse than the Kha'Zix conversation, and this is getting to the point about Draven. People hate this card, and you might not see it, Kevin. Oh, sorry, Stardust, whatever. But they hate this card. I hate this card, and I don't hate this. And I get it. The card is, like, fundamentally, yes, there's players around it, but people hate this card. And I think for that reason, it will be banned. I'll give it 2 months. I'll give it less than 2 months, actually. Month and a half.
My God.
2 months, nah.
I don't know who you're hanging. I've never heard anyone hate on Aurora.
Dude, although like a lot of the pro players on Twitter, TCG, any of the other big groups, Ryan or Randy, it's telling how problematic this card is, how unfun this card is. Not problematic, unfun. That's the conversation. This deck is unfun to play against. There's nothing, like, they either hit by turn 4, or you don't have a 2-drop. Or they don't hit Aurora by turn 5 and you win the game. Like, okay, that is not a help. That is not. But whatever. You're like, oh, I'm plenty of options. Like, okay, cool. I guess. Awesome. I'm awesome.
So yeah. So I think we need to move on. Clearly, we have some differing opinions here. I will say I think the card should be banned for the sake of the long-term health of the game. Personally,
and I don't.
I don't think that it's necessarily needing to be banned for the sake of like gameplay purposes. I'm again more concerned about the long-term effects on big units, but I do think that it's interesting that I think it meets all the criteria. And then the other thing, to the point I think that you're talking about, Zdral, is I don't think we have an official ban cadence, right? Like in Magic, they do bans like twice a year. I don't think there's an official ban cadence for Riftbound, and I think that's something that you don't want to like set necessarily. But I don't know. I like it for Magic because they'll announce no changes, but then they'll be like, we're monitoring the situation or whatever. And I think that's fun, like communication. But I think that clearly, like, the Miracle thing was they had to act on that. But I don't know when the next time we'll see bans is, truthfully. They'll
do it after Sydney, and when they realize a lot of the rule changes and all their random erratas and all the random interactors they didn't think about, and they're gonna have a rules change. That's all it works. These people, that's how it works, bro.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I think that that does actually bridge us into our next discussion, which is RQ Sydney kind of meta predictions. So we're gonna pull up kind of an updated tier list. I know we ranked the Unleashed legends kind of against each other last episode. But here you can see all of the legends from Origins, Proving Grounds, and Spirit Forged ranked. We're going to briefly talk about some of the changes that we've seen from that pre-Atlanta tier list, and then go into where we are slotting the Unleashed legends on this tier list. Zdral, what are some of the changes that have happened post-Atlanta as far as the meta goes for what's already been released?
Give me. Sorry, let me bring this up. It crashes. It crashes on my topics. Boom, tier list. There we go. Oh no, have any been real changes? I don't think. Well, I mean, Aurora, Yi. I think Yi went down, obviously, and I think Sivir went. Not Sivir. I think Blade Dancer went down. Miss Irelia went down.
We currently still have Yi and Aurelia in S tier on this.
I don't think it's S tier personally.
Which one? Both?
Yeah, I think Aurelia or Yi. I think they're A tier probably.
Okay. I think there's maybe a conversation to be had about Master Yi remaining in S tier, but I do think that Aurelia could maybe go down to A. She's won like half of the city challenges though, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, but people keep winning with Kaisa all the time and go really far. So, I mean, people play this deck so much, you smash their head into it. Like, if you don't know your deck, yeah. So
fair enough. Well, the biggest changes I think are obviously MF and Sivir being extremely high, and then Set and Fiora also got bumped up quite a bit. Sacrifice is an insane card. I don't know how much you guys have been playing on the dude. Sacrifice is nuts. Like, Sacrifice in Set, it's like free because you're getting your rune back even though you're saving the champion, and you're just drawing so many cards. So that card is nutty.
I think that's gonna get rotted. That's gonna get rotted. I promise.
What specifically?
You being able to draw the card, quote unquote, because after. Actually, no, it would not work. It would not work like that. Oh yeah, Sacrifice. Yeah, it would work like that because I think the unit has to die. I think the unit has to die. I think would matter. I don't care about the wordage. It doesn't say that, but I think game design wise, I don't think they like that.
Yeah, I think
you think it has to die in order to get it?
Yeah,
that's all right. That's all right.
Yeah, it should be the same as Hidden Blade, where like it has
or
well,
the
because the reason the Hidden Blade doesn't work is it needs to check. As I've heard it, it needs to check, but I don't believe. Because Sacrifice is, as an additional cost to pay this, kill a friendly mighty unit, so it doesn't have to check. So again, for Hidden Blade, if the card doesn't die, the card can't see who controlled the creature, therefore it does not draw.
No, what's that grass, that like evil looking hand thing? What's
Evil
it called?
Soul Harvest or which one?
The one that lets you transfer might over and
Death Grip? Death Grip?
I think Death Grip, I think they need to work in the same way if you want consistency.
Yeah, so Death Grip doesn't work if the unit doesn't die because it can't check its might.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So all of those things would completely brick Sacrifice.
Good.
But as is, Sacrifice is an absolutely disgusting card.
Hey, we'll see. We'll see if a judge says no in the middle of the tournament, and then multiple judges communicate with each other.
It back. Oh man.
But
that's happened to Jack.
Yeah. No, trust me, I remember. Yeah, I got my overnumbered jacks. It's like it's not even in a sleeve anymore. Like this. But yeah, Fiora and Set have moved up a little bit, and obviously MF and Sivir have moved up, and then the other thing that I just wanted to, I don't know. Actually, we can get into it in a little bit, but now we're gonna slot the Unleashed Legends into this real quick. HyDra, do you have this pulled up?
I have it pulled up, but I don't have the Unleashed Legends.
If you hit Remix, this list at the bottom, it should launch it, and you should be able to see it.
Let's see. Okay, yeah, I got it. Okay.
All right. So I think the first one's pretty easy. I think Jin's immediately going into D tier. We kind of, I don't
Jhin
think,
should be.
yeah.
Jhin needs to be like guaranteed, bro. Like
Jhin
I
needs
don't
to.
know why.
Do we need to have a guaranteer that Jhin is also in?
I can pull it. I can make it right now.
Yeah, bro.
Because he is terrible. Mind you, I opened an overnumbered Jhin. Very upsetting. Yeah, completely. Where I've been using it to like pick my teeth. It's pretty bad,
And you wish that luck upon me. I will never forget.
dude. Yeah, my fault. Yeah, that's my comeuppance. Yeah, samsara, whatever, right? Something that I think, yeah, Jhin. We can basically just skip Jhin. Something that I think is interesting is, and I'm curious as to if you guys have any experience on this. Basically, everything else that I've seen, nobody's high on Rengar. I actually haven't played against a single Rengar on the sim online. I've literally never played against a Rengar, and I've been playing a lot of the sim. And I know in a couple of the other tier lists that I've seen, they've got Rengar in C tier, claiming like inconsistency. Stardust, I know you played Rengar quite a bit during pre-release. Obviously, that's pre-release. But are we rethinking where we would want to place Rengar, or like what we're thinking the strength of that card could actually be? Because I'm not seeing it at all, and nobody else seems to be really high on it. So I think that Rengar could actually end up being a little bit worse than what we were kind of talking about during the Unleashed tier list. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with that. It just doesn't seem like it's doing as much as we thought it would be doing. It had a one first, yeah. Yeah.
What's up, Zdral? What'd you say?
I mean, purple's too strong. It vex and bouncing effect. Like,
Is my sound going out?
No, you're good. I don't know.
Oh no. Okay, no. I
Okay,
no,
there we
said,
go. There we go.
No, you're good. No. It's just purple's too strong. It's just
Purple's too strong. Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay, yeah.
Vex is.
I will get into
now.
that. Yeah. Vex. Yeah. So I mean, I think that purple Vex is the best card in the set. Straight up.
Let's go.
We can get into that later, but I think that purple Vex is the best card in the set. So I would want to put Rengar probably in C tier, maybe high C tier, but I would put Rengar in the C tier. I don't think he's gonna be. I don't think he's gonna be very good at all. Next we have Pyke. I think that we originally placed Pyke pretty low on the Unleashed Legends tier list. I actually think that there's more to this deck than meets the eye. I don't know if it's going to be too slow, but I've played against a Detonate Pyke, which I thought was really cool because you're getting so much of the gear from bouncing your units. I don't know if it's fast enough, but it's been a nightmare to play against. And obviously, red-purple is the floor is extremely high for this. I just don't know if it's too slow. For, legitimate use, I'll say. What do you think, HyDra?
Yeah. I was gonna say. I think it's
because you've got the overnumbered Pyke.
Yeah.
Is it called to you?
No, it's not calling to me at all. But I think this is like I would place it like a low B. I think it definitely has a lot of skill to it, just like looking over it. But I think every version play Bewitching Spirit? To my understanding,
it seems like it. Yeah,
it's like the reason to. I think.
Yeah. Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Like,
which is fine, but it's one of those things where it's like if you draw it, cool. If you don't, and it dies, or it dies, it's like kind of just hinders your plan a lot. So I definitely think there's a lot more things you can do with this deck. So that's why I'm willing to place it like low B instead of I think we had it on C tier. But until I see like an actual performing deck or like a deck that makes sense, I'm not gonna put it higher than that.
Yeah, and I mean we saw what Jinx basically play mid-range Draven, and it was good. So like if you're in red purple, like you can always just at the least play that. It's got an accelerate champion in the champion zone. That's always good. It's pretty strong if you accelerate it too. So I don't know. What do you think, Zdral?
I think there's a lot more. I think people need to explore the cards more. I think Jhin, like red Jhin, or some form of like more tempo style, and not this weird like mill version of the deck, which is okay. Trying to match up, it's so slow. I think it's good. I don't know. It's a good color combination. I think it's good. Just people aren't exploring it. Maybe I should try it. That hurt my head.
What do you think, Stardust?
I think Pyke is okay. I think that there's potential. I've seen it top a couple of the Chinese, whatever they're called, the
City challenges.
city challenges. They're not bad. The list plays pretty as consistent, mill, and looks pretty solid. But I do want to say, like, I genuinely think that Irelia is going to be scary, super, super scary. And I know that you guys said you guys didn't think so. I think
No, I
genuinely-
think Aurelia is going to be very good.
Yeah.
this
I'm going to
set.
play her. I want to play for CCS. I told you. I think she's good.
Okay.
I think she's good.
Yeah, I genuinely still think she's S tier. Like,
Okay.
no
we'll
funny
get
business.
we'll get into that. I
Yeah.
want to.
But yeah, Pyke, pretty good. Jhin not very good. Rengar, I don't know. Yeah, but Pyke
Yeah.
I think is pretty good. I would give him maybe a B. Yeah, B.
All right. So we've got Pyke at the bottom of B tier. Vi, my beloved, D tier.
Oh, no.
Not even going to talk about it.
Okay.
Look, at least I
no.
know. Okay. I never made an argument that Jax was good. I never made an argument that Vi was good. I just liked playing them. She's terrible. She's atrocious. It's just.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, who knows? Maybe I'll be able to pick up the best of card for like $20. Lillia, I've seen a lot of people very high on Lillia. I think that this deck is bad purely because I think that Purple Vex is the best card in the game, and every deck that runs purple is going to be running 2 to 3 of them. And if you play that, Lillia can't do anything. Blue, green. I mean, blue has targeted removal through like Singularity, but Vex also has deflect. So if you play Singularity, now you're dropping 6 power, right? That's very tough. And if blue Lillia dies, the whole deck, just Bambi her, right? So I'm not very high on Lilia. HyDra, what do you think?
No, we're on the same. I think it's like a running meme where if there's no Bex, Lillia performs. If there's Bex, she just falters and just doesn't do anything for a tournament.
Right, if there's Vex, she's being served at Costco for like $3 a piece.
You are correct. So I think she's definitely like a low in B tier because there is so much just stopping or like things that can stop you, even like other decks that just have either one of the two colors, so either green or purple. So it's like a low B tier, I think now in my head. I played against a few of them, and I mean their whole thing is really just tempo, get sprites out, conquer, over and over. If it runs into a problem,
It's fun with Heimerdinger.
Yeah.
I've
I
seen
saw
that,
it,
yeah.
So yeah, but again, if it just a piece dies of your whole puzzle, you just kind of just stare at the screen until you lose. So yeah, it's like a low end B tier.
Yeah.
What do you think, Zdral?
B, but I don't know why. I'll say this: I don't know why Ari's at B if Lilia's there.
Okay, I put Ari at B. Because there's a really fun deck that you can play. So I've been playing a lot of Vex, and I don't know if I want to get. All right, I'll just say it. One of the techs, whatever. The thing about Vex, if you go second, it feels so bad, right? It already feels bad to go second, but if you go second as Vex, literally the only way, in my opinion, to break parity on going second as Vex, especially in the mirror matchup, is to play green Ari, right? Green Ari is the only way to do it because other than the Emperor's Divide where you move everything back and then you attack in, but then you're attacking into a Vex and there's other problems with that, right? So green Ari is extremely strong in that regard. You hold, you get an extra point. Green Ari plus blue Sentinel.
Yeah.
2 points, right? I know that sounds crazy. I know, but I actually think that Ari could be very good in this set. Alpha Wildclaw, extremely good card. We're gonna get into it with Vex. Vialmaw, extremely good card. We're gonna get into that with Vex. Blue Sentinel. I think that Ari is able to kind of bunker up almost as well as Vex can in some circumstances. So I think that Ari got better. That's all I'll say. Moving on.
And pro player,
Back to Lillia.
Pro player. Do you think that's true? Side note before.
Too many pieces, Stardust.
I like Lillia. I think, but I don't think it's like crazy. Like I think it's okay. I think it's shown some performance, although it's
No
yeah.
way.
I mean, it can go really hard and fast. And you just got a bunch of tokens, but then yeah, again, it loses to Vex, and many decks are playing Vex either in the main or the side. So then, like, if you have one card that just shuts down the whole deck, that's not a good look. Yeah. There's nothing much else to say about it. The Lilting Lullaby, I've seen decks that don't even play it. I see some decks that do play it, but it only really stops spells.
Yup.
So I mean,
Doesn't stop
yeah,
ambush.
yeah. It's
'Cause unlike Magic, not all cards are spells. Yeah.
yeah, and
How
that
many
weird
spells are you
interaction
playing on your opponent's turn anyway? You know, usually you leave what,
Yeah.
2 to 4 up?
Yeah, I
You just need
mean,
one counter.
yeah, exactly. And odd thing is, if you play this and then you put a defy on top of your so let's just say you defy you play lilting, right? And then you for some reason play defy on top of lilting to counter the opponent's card. Apparently the lilting just disappears and your opponent can play cards because its controller can play cards and it gets defied first, so it doesn't.
That's hysterical.
Yeah, so
You
it
know what?
kind of
That
counters
actually-
itself.
That actually
Yeah.
reminds me of something that people have been learning. Unyielding Spirit blocks all spell and ability damage. So if you play it to counter somebody's Elder Dragon or whatever, and then you play your own like Fan of Knives, your Fan of
Yep.
Knives won't work
Yeah.
because all the
Yeah.
damage is prevented. So
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
something funny. But yeah, I think honestly, I would maybe put Lillia as at the top of C tier. I'm not impressed with this deck. I think that it gets shut down really hard by Vex, and I think it's incredibly hard to pilot. Right? Like juggling all the temporary units. But
I think Lilia beats up most decks at the bottom of the bottom.
is she the new great filter?
Yeah, no. I
The
think
the great dude.
Oh,
It's like
God.
Fermi's paradox. It's the Zdral filter.
Yeah,
Yes,
I think Aurora. I think Aurora and Kaiser is still the greater filter, but I think she bullies a lot of decks that are not
Okay,
Like
okay.
Victor,
I've just been playing a lot of Vex, so
What does Victor
Yeah,
do?
yeah.
I'd
is,
probably
yeah. Dude, she does
Okay,
a lot of damage,
okay.
bro. She does a lot of damage.
okay. All right. So we'll keep Lily at the B tier. Moving on. XP Yi. I know we had XP Yi kind of middling. Something that I'm really interested in thinking about XP Yi is like, obviously getting to level 11 is very good.
Yeah.
I think that once people have enough time cooking with this deck, they're going to find the optimal XP curve, and the deck's going to be a lot better because you're not going to be running Gromp, which is like a 5-for-5, basically vanilla creature, right? Like, I think that somebody's going to be able to figure out that getting to level 6 is like good enough because a perpetual +1 anthem breaks parity in a lot of circumstances. And then you have like the Wuju trainee, right? It's a 2-drop. You play it, it draws a card. That's pretty good, right? And you only need to be level 6, right? So I don't know. I don't know what it's going to look like, but I think that somebody might be able. I don't know. I think everybody's too focused on getting to level 11 because level 11 is really good, but I don't think you need to get to level 11. The only question is, at that point, why aren't you just playing original Yi? I don't know. Probably C tier. What do you think, HyDra?
Bro.
So do you think the level 16 is a dream in this deck? Like
I think it's a meme, bro. I think it's a meme. Well, I think that's one of the ways that you can play the deck, but level 16 is so win more. It's so win more. If you're level 16, you don't need to do it. You've already won the game. Like you're hitting level 16 off of the 8-point hold, bro. Like that is an insane amount of XP. Genuinely. So no, yeah, I do think it's a meme, right?
Okay.
I do think it's a meme. And I think that, I don't know, like, you get Meditate down to 3 mana draw 2. That's not terrible. That's what Lunar is, except you don't have to discard, right? Like, I don't know. I think that the level of XP that you need to hit is not 11 and it's not 16. It's somewhere below that where you can still play good cards and hunt cards and not kill yourself.
Okay,
We'll
got
see
it.
that.
Got it. All right, so play OG Yi, and yeah, this is gonna go C tier. Got it. Understood. Message
Okay.
across.
All right.
Message across.
Say,
Um,
I don't think need more support like next. Something.
Well, hopefully.
Dude, they're never gonna print XP cards again. This is Rumble all over again, bro.
Yeah.
It's Rumble. I remember hearing in Atlanta somebody was like, "Yeah, I was really looking forward to playing Rumble, and then I saw the Unleashed things, and there were no new mechs, so I was just like, what's the point?" And like, yeah, like,
Yeah.
no, it's awful.
Well, no. I will say, actually, to defend XPE, I think it's bad. But
To defend it, I think it's
What a
bad.
defense.
no,
Bro,
It-
dude, I'm glad that you're not the lawyer in that household.
No. Look. Legitimately, it does have the strongest mid-range deck possible because of the exceptional like Anthem effect, the Ready effect, and the Big Yi. If it does what it wants and given enough time, it is the strongest mid-range deck in the game, like by far. Like no other mid-range deck can beat it. But obviously the XP, if you have to play that stupid vanilla frog, okay, well you shoot yourself and you play Yi, other original Yi. So obviously, but I actually do think if it gets some support with a decent XP maker next set, if that ever happens, I think we'll be viable.
They can't do that because then it's too strong.
Facts.
Yeah, it's better than
Then
having
it's
a
too strong.
dead Yi. He's popular. They make money.
I
out of
guess.
it.
I'm just- yeah.
The original.
What do you think, Stardust?
I think that again, like I kind of touched on this last time. I think that there needs to be a good balance between XP and strong cards. I think that I play tested a good amount. I think that there's potential, but I think that the payout isn't like enough to justify like kind of like paying like like the payout isn't really like that good because then like at level 11 they all come in ready, so like it's okay, but then
comes in ready. That's not bad, I guess.
yeah,
But it doesn't even come in ready because you're playing against Purple Vex.
yeah, right, exactly. So then exactly, yeah,
Genuinely.
yeah, like most decks are already playing either main deck or side deck. So then if you come in ready, it just doesn't even feel that good in the first place. So I don't know. I think that yeah. I mean,
C tier.
but the thing is, this isn't as bad against Vex as like Lillia, because like Lillia, they all come in ready. But this is like you get plus one to everything. Everything does have some sort of on top of XP gaining stuff. And then the Master Yi, obviously, if you can get to level 16, it's a pretty decent win condition. But I don't know. I think that it takes too much for it to be sort of mediocre. So I would have to give it like a C. Yeah.
C tier.
Yeah.
C tier. All right. Next up, we got Vex. I think this is an S tier deck, bro. I think this is S tier. I think Vex is S tier. At the very least, she's A. She cannot be below A. Vex is insane. I've been playing so much Vex. I think that there are some techs, and I think that the most important part of the matchup is, do you tap out on turn 2 to play Vex? Because if you do and she dies, you are done.
You cry, yeah.
You are done. Right? So don't do it, right?
Vindicated.
Yeah, so don't do it, right? Do it right. But like I think that there are some techs that are going to make the deck like really good. Like I think again, like it's the best hold deck in the game next to Ari, of course, right? But whatever, right? But I think it's really good, and I do think that there are ways to break going second. So we'll see. It's quite possibly the deck that I'm bringing to CCS, but we'll see. What do you think, HyDra?
Okay. I think the only reason it's not S is because, again, if you go second, you're kind of screwed in a way. Especially if
the green Ari tech, bro.
Okay, man. Hey, if you want to test it out, by all means, put that in the side leg.
Yeah, spend 5 mana.
Put that in the side leg, man. And then he'll just
5 mana, 1 energy, bro.
get
No, you got to
lasered
main
out.
deck it. You got to main deck it.
Okay. He's dreaming. He's having a bad dream. Yeah, it's an A tier for sure. It's definitely really good into pretty much almost any other deck, really. But again, it doesn't have that Aurora win con for going second and first, so it's not an S tier deck. I think that's the new S. Do you win the game? Turn 3. Yeah. I think it's A tier. Nothing else to say other than going second feels bad.
What do you think, Stardust?
I don't know. I think
'Cause
that
you had very high words for this last
Yeah.
time.
No, you were fighting
I
me, bro.
think
I remember.
I think the color combination makes it really good, but I don't know. I've rethought it a little bit. I think it's still good. I think that it's gonna be meta. Like it's the deck that people are gonna be building cards around. I think they're gonna be building decks around. And it's pretty much gonna be like I think it's the deck to beat, and I think it's gonna be meta. I don't know if it's gonna be enough to win everything like Draven and Aurelio was kind of doing, but I think it's definitely up there. I think that in the right hands too, I think it could be pretty good. So I'll give it an A.
No.
Yeah, those hands are pretty good looking, dude. Those hands look pretty good.
I moisturize.
Moisturize, yes.
Oh, man.
What do you think, Zdral?
Nice,
The hater.
Vindicated.
The hater.
Let's go, hater. What's up? What's
I know,
up?
bro. Look, that is annoying to deal with, and I think she has a very powerful hold. I'm not going to deny that. But Brim here is still in the meta, and if I Brim here and your tiny 2/2 might units that have no buffs, those things can be
Bro, I got Big
overran.
Daddy Vilemaw, bro. I got my Alpha Direwolf, bro. Like you ain't
Oh my God.
touching my backline, bro. You ain't doing it.
Yeah, no, but the goal, realistically, you need to smash your head into that board consistently
Yes,
to whittle
yes,
down the unit.
yes, yes.
way to
That's
play
the
around
thing.
it.
You just run stuff in, right? You run stuff in. That is the way to beat the deck, right? You run it in, you run stuff in. But there are ways around that. Like I said, I haven't seen any. I don't know, dude. I don't know. We'll see. Look, I don't want to spoil my tech, but like I do
did.
think. Look. Yeah, but the number, it's different. There's look. I'm cooking. All right. Give me
Let
some
him
space.
cook. Let him cook.
I do think Vex is A tier. I think that kind of like Aurora, you always kind of have to be aware of Vex because if you're not, she's gonna blow you out.
Yeah.
Especially
she's
with
good. She's good. She's annoying.
the secret sauce, right?
Secret sauce.
Ivern, are we just throwing Ivern in the dumpster? Are we chopping him up?
D tier.
Are we chopping him up, using him as toilet paper?
It's a
Like
D
Ivern,
tier,
just
man.
it's over.
It's a D
He's
tier.
like
D tier. Zdral, what's up? What's up?
No,
You look
it's
like you're
him,
having
me
a
and him. It's
connection.
me and him, bro. It's me and him.
D
Like
tier.
I
It's
played
D
so
tier,
many
man.
Ivern
It's
games,
D
bro.
tier, man.
No, it's Garrett.
It
It's
is
like
not.
Garrett.
It is not guaranteed, man. It is not guaranteed. You can
After they ban Aurora, after they ban Aurora, Garrett and him they join together and hold hands. Okay.
Okay.
Oh my
Dude,
god.
dude,
You
they
think
made
it's
a deck.
guaranteed?
Dude, it's awful,
It is
bro.
not guaranteed. Bro, you can win.
Oh my
You can win
God.
games off of VAR. You can win the games off of what Leona. You can win off Lee Sin. You can beat those decks, bro. Tell me you can.
Yeah, and they have yeah, okay, cool. And I'm playing birds and they have
Okay.
I have a zoo.
You
awesome.
can beat them. You can beat. It's a D tier
They have
deck.
stuns.
It's a D tier. You have stuns too.
Your birds have deflect, Zdral.
There we
What are they
go.
gonna do? Stun your bird?
I think it's a D tier.
Yeah.
I think it's a D tier deck. All right.
Sure.
I think this might be like the worst like legend ability ever.
Oh, 100%. It's pretty bad.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
there with
yeah.
And the colors are terrible. I don't know. D tier. We can move on.
Funny enough, side note before Rengar counters the crap out of this deck. It's considered a cat, so it actually gets the plus bonus when you fight it. It's disgusting, by the way.
That's great.
It-
I love it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Side note.
Diana.
Next, we got Diana. I'm gonna kind of eat my words on this a little bit. I said I thought Diana was a terrible deck. Hui is a very good card. Hui is a phenomenal card.
Yeah.
It's Stellacorn. It's not Stellacorn.
Yeah.
It's Stellacorn 2 remixed, Boogaloo, whatever, right? I think Diana is better than I gave it credit for.
Let's go.
I don't think it's S tier. I think it's high B tier. I think that from my experiences playing Diana, it's really easy to get baited into like a huge blowout turn. But I think once people have played against her enough and take the game like a little bit slower, I don't think she'll be as good. What do you think, Stardust?
I think Diana's. There's value. There's tempo. There's minus. Like it's got good comp. I think it's pretty good. I think I'll give. I don't know. I don't know. I like it. I personally like it. I put it in A.
Yeah.
All right. Overruled. Zdral, what are your thoughts on Diana?
It's A, bro.
A?
Yeah,
It's got everything.
It has access to Gus. Okay, that's actually the reason I like the card a lot. That Gust card, bro, is the most broken one cost unit. It's like, hey, you try to get points, you're behind in tempo for 2 turns.
Oh, your
Because-
tempo, boom.
yeah, Dover, and yeah, it's a good card, very good card.
Okay, all right. I mean, obviously, blue purple is an incredibly strong combination. I know Hui is really good. I do think that the card is better than I gave it credit for. But I don't know. It feels a little bit like there's a ceiling on it for me. But I don't know. Hui obviously elevates that ceiling with every card that you discard. So we can put that in A tier. But speaking of Gust, Zdral, tell us about playing Gust against Leblanc and how good that is.
Oh, it's it just ruins the tempo and it decelerates your game plan to score early, and especially because I don't know, some of the Blancs they try to overdraw. I mean, draw is important, but like if the bird gets pushed around, or what's that girl, the one that lets you channel one for 3, if those things get pushed around, you get set back, super behind. You don't have that early tempo.
Oh, Dusk Rose Initiate.
Yeah.
She needs a lot of mana to ramp up and do the disgusting plays. Her late game is super strong. If she's allowed to have an early game without Gust, obviously, with Gust on in play, she dominates early game tempo. Her mid game's the weakest point in the game. So
Yes.
if you slow down that, it's over. So there's a lot of. I mean, don't get me wrong. The Legend's disgusting. It's a good unit, but there's a lot of ways to play around it. Purple's disgusting. So, hey, repetition of the whole chat. Purple's disgusting.
Time is a flat circle.
Yeah.
What do you think, HyDra?
Yeah, no, same.
Where are we putting
same
LeBlanc?
Same lines. It's an A tier deck for sure, but yeah, she suffers a lot against purple decks. Just too many options. It's one of those things.
Crazy. That's crazy,
yeah,
man.
Yeah, like you said, you run Gust and you play against LeBlanc. They go in, you Gust her. Okay, cool. Just almost pack it up. There's not a lot of things you can do about it. There's too many good purple decks, obviously in the top ranks, and LeBlanc is gonna be there. But I think she might turn out to be one of those like I beat all the other decks except if you're purple because I hate my life. So I think it's like a weak A tier.
Nah, that's crazy.
Well,
I think she's strong A tier. What do you
Strong
think?
A
What do you
tier,
think,
okay.
Stardust?
I personally think LeBlanc is going to be. I don't know. I think LeBlanc's good. Like
Yeah,
draw
we
four,
agree.
like
How
We're minimum A. Minimum A.
That's her
A.
wait. So why is purple beating LeBlanc?
Gust is phenomenal against this card. Gust
Yeah,
is
but
phenomenal against this card.
Okay, do you
She
think
has-
LeBlanc
Maybe.
if she doesn't have the mana and the tempo lead from the early points, and the other like death from the bird or that other girl that gives you channels of rune, she struggles long mid game because her goal is to outtempo you, outgrind you late game with all the value, multiple card draws, Karthus.
The Rexes.
The Rex. If she's allowed to slow that down, it hurts her game plan a lot more.
She's really bad at attacking into battlefields,
Yeah.
right? So if you can Gust her and you can establish on your battlefields, it's very difficult for her to get a successful conquer with the unit that she wants to replicate with her legend ability,
Yep.
right? And then if she can't do that, also, purple Vex is very good against her because her stuff enters ready, and that doesn't matter, because they all play Windswept Hillock, so you conquer, blah blah blah, whatever, right? But if you can Gust a LeBlanc or an early LeBlanc unit, it's very strong. It's very strong against her. That's the point. Yeah, because her late game is insane.
I
Her
mean,
late game is insane.
I'm not sure. I don't know. I can see why some people think Gus would be the counter. Like you have Grasp, you have like a bunch of stuff. I think that's. I don't know. We'll see. I think like the copying of bigger units are probably going to be a bigger problem than that. But I think it's
yeah.
But the point is getting to that point. Is the reason why you play all those ramp cards is to get to that point. And if you slow that process down, and you slow the early tempo point lead, that's the weaknesses of the deck. I mean, there's counterplay. I'm saying that's the counterplay. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, because I mean, if you have 2 Karthuses in base and a ruined wreck, like you can't. It's miserable. Like it's miserable. It's crazy. It's crazy. I think I do think that everybody's designing to play against LeBlanc, but at the same time, I do think that in kind of the same way as we see Yi, XP, I feel like the best LeBlanc list hasn't been discarded. Just to make another allusion to a different card game, in One Piece trading card game, the Blackbeard deck, you can discard a card from your hand once a turn, and that negates something on your opponent's turn. And really bad Blackbeard players will just use that like every turn, and then you run yourself out of cards, right? I think most of the LeBlancs that I played against, they're always using the LeBlanc ability every single time. And yeah, most of the units do get good value out of that. There's like a reason for it. But I think that the refinement of the deck list to not just go for the easy, oh my God, I just drew 18 cards, is going to refine the list later. We just don't know what that looks like yet. That's all I'll say. But the Rex thing, ridiculous. Oh my God, you can't. Oh my God, dude, it is crazy. There's like 3 of them. They've got 2 Karthuses. Your backline is, it's over. It's just completely over. I think LeBlanc's.
What's your score? What's your score, Stardust, first before we move on?
Oh, she's top of A tier in my opinion.
I would still give her S, but yeah, if you guys think A, then we can put top of A.
Okay.
Sounds good to me.
I think like Lillia, I do think she suffers against Purple Vex, and I think that's a very popular card. That's the only reason I wouldn't put her strictly in S tier.
Yeah,
last two we got Kha'Zix. I think Kha'Zix. I don't know. What do you think, Zdral?
He's Lucian. He's just a new Lucian. Like he's a wannabe Aurora deck. But
just play Aurora Kha'Zix.
Aurora.
That's gonna be.
No, I mean...
hold on. When the best of in Sydney is an Aurora Kha'Zix, that, in my opinion, would be a reason to ban Aurora. Genuinely. I mean, because it has not, just like Garen, it has nothing to do with the legend.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
Nothing.
But I mean, I outside of that disgusting playstyle, I actually do find it to be like it is the best XP deck available because of the easy access to combat. And if it's allowed to play what it wants, it's really disgusting. It's like to keep in a board because all he's gonna do move up, push back with his legend ability. He move up. That's all he wants to do, and I mean, Lucian works, so he can work.
Yeah.
But he's like a B, actually.
What do you think, HyDra?
Yeah, I mean, I'm at the same train of thought. It's a B tier. I do think it has a higher ceiling though when it comes to piloting the deck compared to Lucian. So I think like you're saying, once people figure out like an actual like really good deck list when it comes to that side of Kha'Zix.
Purple Yasuo.
Here we go.
Oh my God.
But if it comes down to that, I'm not saying it's a bad idea. I'm just saying when they figure out, I think this is potentially like top of B, low A tier deck that will actually give you problems to all the other decks.
We'll see. I don't know. I think Kha'Zix is. What do you? God, what do you think, Stardust?
I don't know. I don't think.
Kha'Zix.
Yeah, I'm not too high on Kha'Zix. I think it's a decent card. I think it's a decent deck. It's good against E.
Kha'Zix is unplayable.
Yeah, it is.
I think it's good against E. Besides that, I don't really. I'm not too like. Yeah, I think it's okay. I think I'll give it I probably.
Best signature spell in like the game though. Best signature spell in the game. Because you can move an enemy unit and you can move it wherever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the signature spell is bonkers.
Void Assault.
That's that comparison that's in playstyle.
Say it again.
Yeah.
Do you think he's better than Lucian? Star does already. Yeah. Because they both play the same playstyle, right? They move in, they walk out, move in, walk out.
Yeah. But I think that with
that's
the
not
Yasuo
Lucian's
combo,
whole thing though.
I think with the Yasuo, I don't know.
I
don't know.
I get your point.
I think
but
it's
Lucian
okay.
has the Aeon Trinity Force combo to like close out games, like the surprise. I score like 1,000,000 points.
Yeah, but you have right to win, and you have the same.
Yeah. You just, I mean, you don't have you don't have that payoff, unfortunately. No, I would put Kha'Zix in B tier. I think that he's going to have a really unique play style once you figure out what that play style is. But I think it's going to take. I don't think we're going to see like a solid Kha'Zix list until Vancouver, personally.
Yeah, that's fair.
And also, believe it or not, gets dunked on by Purple Vex. Crazy. Crazy. Yeah. And then finally, we got Poppy. What do you think, Zdral?
Aurora. Want to be Aurora. The only unique thing about this deck is the access to card draw, which historically is not very common in this.
Well, the
color
signature
combination.
spell is really good.
Yeah.
Cool. I
Signature
compare
spell
that,
is really good.
compare that to Seth that says I save a unit every round.
Okay.
It's
All right.
okay.
Yeah, valid.
Yeah.
It's whatever. That's card draw, kind of pseudo card draw. That's it.
Okay. What do you think, HyDra?
It's just another C tier deck, unless you put Aurora in it, you know. So
Yeah.
you know, it is what it is. Cool.
Would you call that unfair representation of the card?
Of course. Look, when okay.
That's so interesting.
We'll get to Sydney, but you know we'll address it here in a second. You know, to not mention it. But yeah, I mean the legend kind of sucks. You know, 3 XP to draw a card. Whatever. Really doesn't do much. Again, I think if
And you have to hold, and you have to hold.
and
to
you have
grab
to
the
hold
XP.
to get XP. So it's one of those decks where either you're gonna put the infamous Grump and
There's no reason to go all in on XP in this deck. There's no reason.
well,
It's a terrible payoff. It's a terrible payoff.
It's a great payoff, man. You draw one, all right. Not even. What if you could draw as many? Like if you had 9 XP, you can draw 3 cards.
Yes, or something.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Like
like you can spend all your XP to draw those X amount of cards. But yeah, C tier or / Aurora. That's it.
Stardust. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, like, there's no reason for it to be like, oh, you gotta tap it to draw. Like, I feel like it should just say spend XP, draw. Like, it's just,
True.
yeah, there's no reason to. Yeah, there's nothing much else
Signature
to say
spell
about
is
it.
really good though.
Yeah.
It's not bad. It's not bad. You can make like your opponent dead draw, right? Like that's pretty decent.
I would never send it to the top. Why would I ever send something to the top?
They
It's
choose,
terrible.
they
I-
choose.
They choose.
No, no,
They
no.
choose.
They choose.
No, to make your
Oh, they
opponent dead
choose?
draw.
Yeah, they choose.
No, you choose.
No,
No, you choose.
no.
I'm okay. No,
Its
no.
owner.
Hold on.
Oh no, you're right. No, you're right. It says its owner
Dude, all right,
places it
never
on
mind.
top of.
I misread
Sorry,
it. This
dude.
signature spell
I thought you
is
knew
garbage,
this.
bro. No, I misread it then. This
Yeah.
card is garbage. Dude,
Yeah, yeah.
D tier for Poppy. Holy crap.
Okay.
No,
Oh, yeah.
Aurora.
Oh,
She's
that's
Aurora.
bad.
She's-
Alright,
she's
yeah.
Oh
Aurora.
yeah, all right,
That's
fine.
just-
C tier,
that's
C
just-
tier.
yeah.
Okay, all right. So
That's
that's
that.
I think that probably mimics somewhat our tier ranking from the last episode, but you probably couldn't hear last episode because of the audio quality. So I'm happy we went back over it. So that leads us to the final part. And this shouldn't take very long, but talking about RQ Sydney really quick. I just want to go into a circle. HyDra. What are the top 4 decks that you
Top
see
four
going
decks.
into Sydney?
You don't want to do
Yes.
top 3 in a dark horse this time around?
We could do top 3 in a dark horse.
All
We
right,
could do top 3 in a
I'm
dark
better.
horse.
Okay, so Irelia. Once again Irelia. I actually think Irelia, Leblanc, and honestly,
Aurora.
no. That's dark horse. That's dark horse. Any Aurora deck is dark horse in my opinion, but specifically
Okay.
Severe and Misfortune. But I think third deck, I really want to say like it has to be one of the like Ezreal or Diana.
Dude,
One of those
Ezreal is so
One of those
good.
two.
Like I do not know why you guys aren't thinking about this more. Ezreal is disgusting. I'll get into it more when I do my predictions. That deck is insane right now. I agree.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's
Preach.
where I'm going with.
Okay, so what was your list again? What was your list again?
Irelia, LeBlanc, and I guess I'll put Ezreal or Diana, but I'll go with Ezreal. And then Dark Horse.
And then Aurora is Dark Horse.
Oh yeah, I mean,
okay.
if you want, yeah.
So real quick, Stardust, Zdral, before we go to you guys, what is it about Aurelia that's good with Unleashed? I haven't played the deck very much, but what did they get that was new? Zdral with the face.
The XP, that stupid crab is actually super solid.
So the Scuttle Crab is good.
Yeah, it's a solid 2-drop that draws you cards and gives you information. That's always going to be viable.
Okay.
And I think Starcross is good. And I think people are not like teching into her very much, probably because the new evil demon is Aurora, so everyone wants to kill the evil demon called Aurora. So I think that helps a little bit. But I think her might bonuses have not changed. She can still break into Vex. She still has Defies. She had the ability to play around with Starcross, the bounce effects. She's very good. I think she's super good right now.
Okay. But as far as what she got, it's basically just the crab.
The crab and Starcross, bounce effects.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the meta changing. The meta's changing away from like heavy combat. Well, as much combat. I don't even know how to describe it. It's weird. It's like tempo. It's more tempo, and I think she has good tempo.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean. Yeah. No. So she got the crab. She got Vex. Their main deck is Vex.
Yeah.
They are main decking. Back off, Starcrossed. So I think generally, I think that the deck was good enough even without all this, right? And I think that decks in the last set, in the last few tournaments, Irelia didn't hit first because every deck was playing around it. Now the decks are so versatile. There's a bunch of stuff, right? And this is probably the most solid out of all of them, right? All the decks before, everybody was playing stuff specifically to counter Irelia. That was the counter deck. Now every deck is like, okay, now there's LeBlanc, now there's exactly. There is so much, right, where we're like, okay, we can't specifically play around Irelia. And then Irelia, honestly, without the new cards, would probably be still like one of the top 3 decks without the new cards, right? Because now everyone's not like countering it, or specifically building around it. And it's just, dude, it's just pretty freaking good. The Scuttle Crab, yeah, just good. Okay. Very, very solid.
So, with that in mind, Stardust, what are your top 3 in a Dark Horse?
I would have to agree that Irelia is definitely one of them. And then I would give a slot to Aurora, right? Because of all the. I mean, yeah, it's going to be like set 1 where there are going to be a lot of Aurora players, right? And there will be Auroras that will there will be players that play Aurora that will get a lot of Auroras, and, that's going to be something that we watch out for. That's why we build decks around gear hate, right? We're going to have a lot of gear hate in the set. So that's going to be a deck where it is meta defining. So we have Irelia, we have Aurora that are both going to be meta defining. And then I think a third deck, I'll give it to Vex. LeBlanc. I'll give it to LeBlanc just because the control is really good.
What the hell?
No, I think LeBlanc is legit good. The control, the draws, you can copy your opponent's units, right? So like if your opponent, gets, I don't know, like a Baron or something like that, or even Elder, right? It's not going to copy
an opponent's Baron. Your Baron goes into the Baron pit.
No.
It also can't be targeted.
Well, I don't think... Is that how that works? I don't think that's how that works. I think it's not a play effect. I think Baron is a play effect, like... Right?
Now I want to look this up.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I'm going to find that right now. So Baron says...
Like, Baron can't be targeted, so...
Right.
It says, as you play me, add the Baron pit token to the board if it's not already there. If you do, I enter there. So it's not you play me. If it copies
but
the
you can't target.
You can't
Baron
target
with
it,
mirror
and it
image.
gives all your Oh, you can target it. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
so I mean,
so
the point is moot.
yeah,
The point is
Elder.
moot. Yeah.
Elder or something like that. Yeah. Either way, I think that I don't know. There's so much you can do with LeBlanc, and now with unchecked power, with Ruination. I think there's always an answer for everything, and it has infinite value. It's got a lot of play potential. I think LeBlanc's also going to be meta shifting, meta defining, and the dark horse, give it to Yi. I like Yi.
Bro,
I'm playing Yi.
Yeah.
I'll be the dark
Oh, it's a
horse.
Yi? You're a Yi player again?
I'll just say, you know what kills me? It kills me that Mirror Image has 2 power cost because I know that they did that to make it like more expensive, but now it just can't be defied. So I
Yes.
would rather have a signature spell that has 2 power cost than
Yes.
one that has 1. Like,
Yeah.
oh, that just kills me. Uh, it's not worse. It's strictly better. Anyway, I don't need to get into it. Zdral, what are your top 3 in a dark horse?
A dark horse has to be Aurora, any Aurora variation.
Yeah.
I think, I think it's obvious that that deck is disgusting. Irelia, obviously busted still. Draven, I don't know what people forgot about Draven. He's still busted. I actually don't think, I don't know, maybe, I'm probably not sure if it's going to be that weird new, like, the new tricks they have with Eve and the other hook that summons units out of here. I don't know that variation very well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Skewer. Is that good? I have no idea.
Bone Skewer, and Evelyn are cards. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
just ways to get more combats.
So maybe that is good enough. But I mean, and what else?
One more.
Top 3.
Could be
You got
Diana.
Aurelia, Draven.
I don't even know. Diana? I think
Yeah.
Diana's good. I think Diana's better than Ezreal. And I think the control stuff is cheeky and all, but at the end of the day, I like control. I do like control, but I think being able to play offensively and have tempo leads has more value in the long term. So I think that will be more valuable. So
Okay.
we'll see. Yeah.
For myself, I'm gonna go Ezreal. That card is insane. This is not necessarily in order of what I think is gonna win. I think Ezreal is completely bonkers right now. Heedless Resurrection is an insane card. You don't even have to be playing the Rasa version if you're running multiple thousand-tailed Watchers, and you have a Heedless Resurrection. You can sacrifice. I don't know. It's crazy. Arcane Shift is insane. You get to the point where you can, Bell's Breath things in the back if you already have a Watcher on the field. Gust becomes even better. Tempo Ezreal is very good. You're drawing the cards. I know that a lot of people at this point think that Diana with her chosen champion is basically an Ezreal that you can activate every turn, but I think Ezreal is better than Diana personally. Draven, I think Draven's going to be absolutely bonkers. In a weird way, I think Ferris Forerunner is not good enough anymore. I'll be very curious to see how much we're seeing that card. I know I talked about like the smite in the mirror. I don't even think you're going to need to do that. I think you have things like Bone Skewer and Evelyn, which pull people back in. You get to win more combats. There's a lot more red cards with ganking now. You throw a Spinning Axe on Jhin. You gank over with Jhin, 7 might unit. That's also getting you energy and power. I think Draven's going to have access to a lot more combats. We'll see how that works with like Vex. I don't know, but I think Draven can probably break into a Vex board. You have, Ride the Wind if they, bounce you back or whatever. I don't know. I think Draven's going to be really good. And then my third thing, if they don't fix it, I would put either Set or Fiora. I know they're a little different, but I think that color combination between the two of those is going to be really strong. From a Dark Horse perspective, I will also say Aurora. Notice I did not mention Irelia or LeBlanc. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see. Aurelia didn't do super hot. She only ever won in China. I remember Harukaze in top 8 at Atlanta got beat pretty handily by Coco. I don't know. Just Aurelia, it can't convert in NA from what I've seen. And I don't know if it got enough support in Unleashed to push it over all the bullcrap that every other deck is doing. So we'll see. So those are our top 3s. Any final points on this tier list? We'll do another real quick round robin. HyDra, you got anything? I know Zdral called me out on the Ari, but anything else here that looks a little sus to you, or does this look about right?
I think this looks pretty good. I wouldn't put anything on S tier that's not MF or severe, but that's me.
Okay.
I would move
Okay.
Jhin already down to A, top of A, if any, or like mid to top of A. But that's about it. I think everything else looks pretty good.
Stardust, what do you think?
I think the list looks good. I think that it's a little early for us to really make these judgments, just because
Bro, we're
I think it's
content
also
creators. That's our job.
Yeah, no,
What are you
no, no.
talking about?
Listen, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that it's early to be like these are all speculation, right? That's all I'm saying. I'm
Of
saying this
course.
is speculation, and that I think that we're gonna have to see. But I like the list so far. I think that this looks pretty legit, and I think that going forward, I think this will be. I don't know. I think this is pretty close to what it will actually be. So yeah, that's where I'm
Our
at.
our unleashed postmortem. We'll pull this up and compare.
Oh boy.
What do you think, Zdral?
Yes.
To what? Just our scores or?
Well,
or
no,
like-
the list. Is there anything that you think?
Oh, no,
little
yeah, our
off,
scores are. Annie, I don't
other
know,
than Ari?
Annie, maybe Annie, Seth, and I think Fiora or B tier probably. And I think, yeah. I mean, other than that, I think everything's fine. I actually don't believe in this. I don't believe in the. I don't believe in the Fiora one.
Okay.
I don't.
Okay. Well,
Do you
I mean,
believe-
we'll see.
You guys believe in it?
We'll see.
I believe in it. I believe in it.
I think
Man.
sacrifice is just insane. You play sacrifice on a unit or like a unsung hero that's gonna die anyway.
Plus
You draw
4.
like 14 cards.
Yeah.
Just oh my god, just disgusting. +4 plus ramp. I don't know. Bro.
Yeah,
And you're already ramping from Fiora, right? So like, sacrifice makes it so any unit that you're sacrificing is basically +2 because you already ramped with the legend. I don't know. I feel like Fiora is crazy, but. All right, so that's gonna do it for us. But just as a heads up, HyDra, Zdral, and I are gonna be at CCS Atlanta later this month, and then of course, we're gonna be at Vancouver. Funny thing with CCS Atlanta, I don't think 100 people have signed up yet. I hope it
No, they
picks
have.
up.
They have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thankfully, we broke it. Dude, when I signed up, I was like the 74th person to sign up. I was like, ooh, geez, like, ooh. It's not good.
Yeah, I think there's-
But let us know what you guys think about our tier list down in the comments. If we've completely botched or missed something, or and also let us know if you think Aurora should be banned. I can't wait to hear. I'm glad that there was at least I've listened to a couple other podcasts where everybody was like, oh no, like it's fine. I was like, disingenuous. I'm glad we have at least some dissenting voices. But thank you guys for listening, and tune in next week for another episode of the Stack Deck.